Going live. Live. Action camera. Okay.
Put the camera on you, sir. We'll play your music.
Yes, please.
You can do what you do.
Okay, I'm ready. I think I am. People get ready, for the train is coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, just thank the Lord. Welcome, viewing audience and listening audience, to the People Get Ready podcast with the legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. from Bibb's Record Shop. Welcome, everyone. Take it away, Mr. Bibbs.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair. Once again, you did us a beautiful rendition of People Get Ready. So that's what we need, the people to get ready for what we're bringing them tonight. And I truly believe we have some awesome information for you tonight. And one of the early people we'll be bringing to you is Miss Vivian Sharp. Are you in the house?
Hello, Mr. Bibb. How are you?
Very good. Would you tell us about your new enterprise, please?
Hello and welcome. I am Minister Vivian Louise Sharp. Come be with us on my exclusive Discover Yourself streaming radio app, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, except leap year, 366 days a year. Enjoy music, interviews, and various potpourri people on your Apple or Google Play app. Call me or email me on sharpparagon@gmail.com or call me 216-307-5100. Discover Yourself radio app. Discover yourself. Don't wait to be discovered. Discover Yourself radio app. Over and out, Mr. Bibb.
Miss Vivian L. Sharp. Who do you got coming up this week on your wonderful program that we might know?
Next week, I've got Mr. Jesse Dandy. I've got Mr. The Cadillac Man, Mr. Gordon. I have
Mr. Jesse Dandy.
Jesse Dandy will be here on. I'll be talking about him later, and he'll be on the show next week.
What do he do, Miss Sharp?
He's a jazz big bassist, a jazz bassist. All his life, he's been playing the bass guitar, the big bass, and he's going to be talking about bringing jazz to that.
Thank you very kindly. See you next week.
See ya.
All right. This coming Saturday, we're going to have a double hitter again. Reverend Fair.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have Mr. Darnell Brewer.
All right.
Who got endorsed by the Cuyahoga Democratic Party. As our special guest on Saturday at the Martin Luther King Library, Stokes Boulevard in Euclid, at 2:30. He'll be on a panel, 1 hour.
All right.
Some of the sharpest minds on the globe will be asking him questions.
All right.
And those are the people who are hosts and co-hosts of this program. People Get Ready. So get ready for that. And that's going to take place this coming Saturday, the 30th of July, from 2:30 to 4:30. I want you all to be out there live and in living color and hear this young man what he thinks he's going to do when he gets to Columbus in January. The second part of the double hitter, Miss Candace Jones and Mr. Garfield has some awesome information that we want to hear from Snap Delivery, and we're all excited about that. And you can come and hear this Saturday out at Chandler Park. That starts at 5 o'clock. And the mission is free. Come this week, Reverend
Yes, sir.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And James Jerome Bell.
Yes.
So this is the last week, it'll be free. So
Right.
bring all your free friends. Pack them in.
Yes,
So
sir.
there'll be a charge starting in August. Thank you very kindly. And but it's going to be worth it because everybody's going to be able to get some additional income and a brand new stream of income. And I think that's going to be wonderful, especially during this period of inflation. So this Saturday, double hitter, Chandler Park is at 17325 Euclid Avenue at London Road. It's on the second floor, 2011, in the conference room. All this information is free for the offering this week. So come and bring your family and friends with you. While everything is free. Appreciate that. Thank you. And Reverend Ben Fair,
Yes, sir.
I understand in Akron, Ohio, the 15 policemen who were involved with that shooting have not come forward officially yet. Do you have any information for us about Akron, Ohio, and the Jayland Walker killing?
Yes, sir. We have a little bit of information, Mr. Bibb. We have the latest, as you well know, on the United Pastors of Mission held a press conference calling for an investigation of the police review regarding the deadly police-involved shooting of Jayland Walker. So Bishop Larry Macon, the senior pastor of Mount Zion Church in Oakwood, the president of United Pastors of Mission, stated, "Not only are we here to pray, but we want to complete the investigation. What happened, why did it happen, and who all were involved in the devastation when it happened." What happened? Bishop Mason stated that the president, Joe Biden, said he did not want one stone unturned. If one stone is unturned, he wants the United States Department of Justice to come in to the city of Akron and to find all unanswered questions. It will help the family, the city of Akron, and the nation make sense of what appears to be a senseless shooting. The Reverend Dr. Marvin McNichols of Antioch Baptist Church stated, "We want transparency on how being stopped by for a traffic violation ended in 8 police officers shooting Mr. Walker to death." Reverend McNichols stated, "Each officer will have to be held accountable for each and every bullet fired at and into Mr. Walker." The pastor of the Mount Zion Ministries, Dr. C.J. Matthews, stated, "We're here today because of a mindset, and that mindset is love your neighbor as yourself." Now, the latest news that we have, Mr. Bibbs, is the lawyer for Mr. Walker had a press conference on July the 26th. It was Mr. Jayland Walker's birthday. The family joined the legal team for a press conference Wednesday morning in Akron to make a major announcement regarding the investigation. This update comes more than 3 weeks after he was shot and killed by Akron police amid an overnight chase. During the press conference, the attorney Bobby DeCello announced their request for an investigation regarding Walker's death to be handled by the United States Department of Justice instead of the Ohio criminal investigation. He asked to elaborate on the evidence of this claim. The attorney responded with the following statements during Wednesday press conference. One, the evidence that we have of collusion would include the statements by the Akron Fraternal of Police Department, the President Clay Cazart himself. It says here, I'll use his words, not mine, that the attorney stated. He did not want to get into the specifics of the shooting. Now, how does he know of the specifics of the shooting? The series of statements he made pertain to the evidence of the previous night and the evidence of that night in terms of what the officers were actually thinking. There's no way for him to know what another person is thinking. So he either made up his statement, or he's talking, or he talked to someone else. It says Steve Irwin, the spokesman for the BCI, released a press statement following the statement after Wednesday's press conference. He said the BCI shall remain steadfast in our commitment to independent investigations regarding officers involved shooting, and this case is no different. No updates have or will be provided to the Fraternal of Police President or any other parties by BCI while the investigation is ongoing.
All right.
So that's the update we have, Mr. Bibb. So the update is ongoing, and we still anticipate for them to be fair and forthcoming with the investigation.
Good job, Reverend Ben Fair. And as you stated, it's an ongoing investigation, but nothing has been brought forward officially.
Correct.
And since the lawyer was with you and I, with Reverend Make It out at the church when we had the press conference, would you please get in touch with the lawyer and find out what the next step as of today?
We'll do,
We
Mr.
can
Bibb.
report it to our audience next week.
We'll do.
Thank you very kindly.
You're welcome.
I'm going to have to change the timing of the program a little bit. You know, this is campaign season.
Mm-hmm.
And the campaign season, Mr. James Jerome Bell, is down inside of a week. So candidates are all over the place. And Ms. State Rep Juanita Brent supposed to be at this place, but she's at another place, and they got her tied up there. And she got an additional title now. She's the Cuyahoga County Executive Vice President of the party. So, Ms. Gwen Jarvis, I'm going to need you to come forward. Are you in the house, Ms. Gwen Jarvis?
Yes, I am. Yes.
And
you
last
hear me?
week when we had the program, Dr. Jarvis, Dr. Gwen Jarvis, you were with us here in Cleveland, and at the same time you were in a convention, I think, in D.C.
Yes.
And I'm going to change your place and put you on now, and I'm going to add to your presentation. Before you do your local part, will you tell us what happened at that convention last week, as much
Yes,
as you can recall?
Okay. All right.
It was all yours.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody's doing fine.
Afternoon.
And here in the city of Cleveland, wherever we're listening, I am the spokesperson, or I want to say the person of color voice for Moms Demand Action Against Gun Sense in America. This organization started in 2012, after the Sandy Hook shooting. This lady, her name is Sharon Watson. I've had an opportunity to be in Sharon's company often. Even she's come here to Cleveland, Ohio, and she's a mother of 5. And she went on. She had never been on Facebook before, but she went on Facebook and said, "We need to do something about this shooting." And what I have learned about mass shootings, anytime a person, 3 people get killed, it's considered a mass shooting. And as we know, Sandy Hook's incident, I think 5 students got killed. And the youngest shooter, he killed his mom before he went to the school and killed those kids at Sandy Hook. Moms demand against gun violence in America. It's the title really doesn't fit what it says, because to look at the title, it sounds like they are against guns. But we're not against guns. We're against regulating guns and also gun safety. We have a convention every year held in Washington, D.C., because they want to get the attention of our political leaders. And that's why it's held in Washington, D.C. It's over a weekend it starts really on a Thursday night and end on a Sunday afternoon. We talk about all the incidents, even Jalen Walker was discussed, as far as all of these mass shootings. And they also, this time they incorporated these mass shootings is like a health situation. It involves, because people are getting killed, folks are not balancing off their guns as they should be at home. When it comes to guns, it was stressed to us, it's not the guns, which is the first largest purchase in the United States of America. It's not the guns, it's the users and not being safe with their guns. These guns should be stored in one place, ammunition in another. I don't know if anybody's aware of the fact, but what is not really pronounced to us is 1,500 young people, children, are shot or killed in their homes a year because guns are not being stored away safely. So that's one thing that I would like to urge the listeners, and if you would pass it on, that if people have guns, is to store the guns in one place, have the ammunition in another place, and out of the reach of children, because these children, 16 years old and under, in the household, are being killed or being injured because of guns. And is this a diversity? And we also talked about it being a diversity, equality, and inclusion, because it affects everybody. We can't just say it affects the African Americans or just the white people or the Asian people, but everyone in the United States is affected by guns. I like to say too that today I was in the company of a person, and she was saying how she and her husband just got back from overseas. There was no fear of guns. The only fear that they had was the fear of COVID, because they went to Italy and how they have such a strong gun policy there. And the lady was saying how we need to incorporate the same policy here in the United States of America. Now, when it comes, and as you know, here in the state of Ohio and many other states, not just the state of Ohio, but I think about 17 different states now, they stress to us that they are just outlawing or ignoring where people need to have background checks to have guns. You don't even have to have a background check. And there's some places you can just go to gun stores, you can go to gun shops, you can go to gun fairs, and you can just buy a gun. And it used to be like 7 days to 30 days, but now it doesn't, they're not stressing the fact that people need to have some background checks before it's using guns. And it's a moneymaker. It's a moneymaker. And it's a health issue because people are getting killed because of guns. The FBI is in on it. We have collaborated with an organization that addresses the mayors of the cities across the United States of America, which is called Every Town. Every town involved is a connection of all the mayors. So we have Every Town who addresses the things when it comes to the mayors and the political officials. And then where moms come in, and we are, since we're not all, we are the volunteer organizations where we get people out And they continuously stress that is to get the word out that we need to be educated about guns. We need to safely store our guns away. I don't have one, but safely store our guns away and separate it from the ammunition. So it was just, and of course we know it's a health issue because people are getting killed because of guns. So that's basically what the convention is about. And then there's different segments of training. My responsibility and the training that I had, it's really organized. It's really, really organized. So the training that I had was to connect other organizations, no matter where they are, with Moms Demand Against Gun Violence, so we can get out and get the word out about gun safety and how this is a health issue. Bringing it back home to Cleveland, Ohio, on my radio station, I promote Moms Demand Action Against Gun Violence. And also, up until COVID, I have attended numerous within the greater Cleveland area visuals. And so that's another one of my responsibilities, is to attend visuals and speak at funerals since 2013 on behalf of Moms Demand Against Gun Violence. And I have attended many visuals, and it's good to see how people come together for the visuals, but it's a sad thing too. That's because we have young children from months old to, it doesn't even matter the age, drive-by shootings or these mass killings that takes place not only in the United
Thank you,
States.
Dr. Gwen Jarvis. Before you leave, we want to ask a few questions.
That's
As
fine.
you were making your remarks, you said at the convention they brought up Jalen Walker.
Yes.
Do you recall what they said about Jalen Walker?
Well, they feel we don't have many supporters in the greater Cleveland, in the Akron area, but they seems to be me, is to make it to Akron whenever there are some hearings or going on regarding Jalen Walker, is to be in attendance. And when they be in attendance, is that we have a shirt. I don't know if you can see my card or not. Can you see this? We have a T-shirt that we wear. Make sure that the T-shirt is.
Hold on, maybe we can't see it.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Can I get out? It won't let me get up. Can I start the video? It won't let me on. It won't let me on. Okay, because I try. Okay. So we have a T-shirt to wear that says Moms Demand Action Against Gun Violence in America. The other partner that I have here, I don't know if you know Dr. Ed Barksdale of University Hospital. He is the child chief of surgeon at University Hospital. He is the head medical person across the country in Moms Demand Against Gun Violence. And he's often on my show, and he was just in Washington, D.C. about 3 weeks ago on behalf of Moms Demand Action Against Gun Violence, where the president gave him an award for his participation in it, in Moms Demand Action Against Gun Violence. And I'm ready for questions because it's such a lot of information.
We have 2 more minutes. My second question, then I'm opening it up to the panel.
Okay.
You mentioned that you're in Ohio, you're in touch with mayors around Ohio. Could you give us the name of 2 or 3 of those mayors?
Our mayor and our past mayors, but every mayor in the state of Ohio is a part of every town for gun safety.
Is the mayor of Akron a member?
Yes, he's a member. Yes, he's a member too. Yes, he's a member. They all are.
All
And
right.
I looked up on the internet to see if they were listed, but it just says all mayors. It doesn't. At one point, because they were gradually coming in, they listed the mayors, but now they're not listed. So what they told us over the weekend, that all of the mayors are part of every town. Well, let me tell you something else that I do. I forgot. It's another third thing that I do with Moms Demand Against Gun Violence. They have the Ohio General Assembly allows us to have a Gun Advocacy Day in Columbus, Ohio, which is the third Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday or Thursday. I can't remember. In April, where I speak before the General House regarding gun violence. We did not do it the past 2 years. We did it Zoom because of COVID. But we're hoping that, maybe next year we can go back there. And I have spoke before Congress regarding mass shootings. And the reason why I've had this opportunity.
You spoke before Congress?
Oh yeah, several times.
Very good, very good,
Yes,
very good.
several,
I'm
and the
gonna
thing,
have to, Doc, I'm gonna have to hold up because we run out of time, but I want to make sure anybody got any members, we get on to the last minute.
Yeah, I do. Dr. Jarvis,
Yes.
this is James Jerome Bell. And one of the things that I wanted to mention was that that you have a strong foothold in advocacy, and this is a sincere passion for you.
Yes.
How can our listening audience get involved and support the movement?
I'm glad you asked that question. But we can have tape, just like we're on a podcast. We can add our churches. We can sign people up to attend visuals, to attend our meetings. And most of our meetings are only once a month. And because of COVID, they're all via Zoom. And we'll be having a meeting tomorrow night. I think it's like 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And to attend our meetings and just to be there, what they like for you to do is to know that people are present, and a part of Mom is to wear a T-shirt, and I can make sure that you get a T-shirt. And or anyone who likes to have a T-shirt. We also, which I didn't get into today, but at another time, because Mr. Bibb said he'll allow me to come on. We have a department. We have a category just for young people to get involved. It's called Be Smart. So it's in the school. It's in most of the schools. We're really trying to get into the Cleveland public schools. We have not really had that opportunity. We haven't had that connection. But in a lot of the schools around our area, especially, they're really into this. And I want to say our volunteers are mostly people who are white. We have very few. And my passion is to get as many of us connected so that we can let people know that this is a serious business, and we do take it serious. And we have a lot of people in our communities who have gotten killed. Another thing, Mr. Bell, too, is that we have, and the reason why we want to make it so strong in Cleveland, because we have a lot of shootings in Cleveland, and it's because, I forgot my thought. It's because we all need to be connected. I lost my thought into what I was going to say. But we need to.
Okay, all right, Dr. Glenn Jarvis, you did a wonderful job. In fact, your job was so good, we're going to bring you back next week to complete it. But I want to give you some good information.
Okay.
Earlier in your presentation, you said the mayor is already hooked up.
Yes.
And the mayor's in charge of the schools in Cleveland. James Jerome Bell might not know that, but it's the only city in Ohio where the mayor's in charge of the schools. So you're already hooked up in the Cleveland school system. Just let him know that he's hooked up and you're all set.
Yes.
Let us know what happened next week. We'll put you back on the program for next week.
Okay.
And Ms. Candace Jones will give you your time, and you have to speak next week.
All right.
Thank you for the beautiful report, and thank you for sharing your time with us, and you're real gracious.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
Thank you.
having me.
All right. Next, we have something super hot. The head office inflation, Reverend Ben Fair.
Yes, sir.
Smoking coming out of Dallas, Texas. He can't hardly keep his hat on his head. He can't hardly keep his snap delivered shirt on.
Yes.
And Miss Candace Jones, tell us what's happening in out of Dallas, Texas, would you?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bibb. So, out of Dallas, Texas was a convention for SNAP Delivered this past weekend. And if Garfield is still in the house, if he can join also. But the event started Friday, July 22nd, and it went through Sunday afternoon, ended about 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday afternoon. It was great information. So Garfield, who is an executive director with SNAP Delivered, was at the event. I was streaming it live from Cleveland, but it was full. All 3 days were full of great events and opportunities that are coming. And the one important thing that I want to bring up is that you can join and be a part of SNAP Delivered for free, but yet there's so many opportunities for you to be able to make money, and I'm going to let Garfield expand on that a little more. But the whole weekend was just Saturday and Sunday was the speakers were giving us detailed information on how these programs work and how they're going to help us along to make us successful in that. So Garfield, why don't you share what you engaged from this weekend?
Absolutely. My name is Garfield Dawes. Like it says, I'm an executive director and one of the founding member of SNAP Delivered. The program is going to highlight everything. I'm so excited. I can't even contain it. What happened. And, we are a delivery service, first and foremost. So we deliver just like Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats, but with a little twist to that, where the restaurants, you could earn money. Drivers, you could earn on drivers, and you could also earn on customers. But they had a program, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the PPP program. There was also what's called the ERC program. During the Trump administration, both programs was out, but because of the complexity of the ERC, 99% of the business did not take advantage of that. So they just did the PPP program. So now they was only able to do one program. So when Biden came in, he initiated that program back and said, even if a business, they'll be able to do both. And what that consists of is, as a business owner, they're able to get $26,000 per employee. And let that sink in for a minute. So let's say a business got about 500 employees, they could get up to $13 million. And as a part of SNAP, you'll be able to get a percentage of that. So that made it so simple. I mean, you just introduce the business. And as long as you introduce the business, SNAP will take it over from there and does all the heavy lifting for you. And all you got to do is collect the funds. We had couple people that was there over the weekend as well. So they started ahead of time. One guy, I think he started, and in an 8 weeks time period, he was able to do about $836,000 just by introducing a company to SNAP Delivered. Another guy was able to do about $1 million. So they did a test pilot, and one of the other gentlemen and did about 11 months, generated over $40 million. And this is real money. So we came back real early, hitting the ground early. We got people that's already introducing companies with over 300 employees. So, it's an opportunity for everybody. Everybody knows somebody that has a business. I'm saying minimum of 5 employees all the way up to 500. Everybody knows that. We've been working our butt off at all these companies. So now we could help all these companies inside of the community and still reap the benefit of that. So fantastic. So this Saturday, we're going to do a fantastic presentation. I'm sure Ms. Candace is going to give you the address for Chandler Park. She's going to give you the information where you could come out. Please come out. You guys do not want to miss that. We also, in attendance, we're going to have a direct link from one of the owners from SNAP Delivered is also going to be talking to us live via the Zoom during the meeting. So he's going to give us some definitely gripping information that could help us, put us to the next level, over the top.
Thank you, Mr. Garfield. Wonderful report coming out of Dallas. And Ms. Candace, would you share with the audience our address and all that kind of good stuff? But we don't want anybody to miss it, especially Mr. James Jerome Bill and Reverend Ben Fair, because those are my special recruits.
So this Saturday, as Garfield mentioned, this Saturday, July 30th at 5 p.m., there will be a meeting/training where we'll go into more detail on what Garfield was just talking about and all the other new things that were launched from the weekend as well. And just a simple overview about what Snap Delivered is. That training will be this Saturday, July 30th, 5 p.m. The address is 17325 Euclid Avenue. That's right at the corner of Euclid Avenue and London Road in that Chandler Park building, for those of you that know that building. On the second floor, conference room number 2011. There'll be flyers posted along the way to direct you to the conference room. Second floor conference room, 5 p.m. You need to be there. Bring a friend, bring somebody, because it's great information that you want to hear. 5 p.m. this Saturday, 17325 Euclid Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, Ms. Candace Jones. And we'll all be there. Mr. Garfield, is anybody making any thousands of dollars?
Yeah, we got a lot of people making thousands of dollars.
I'm gonna be there trying to make some thousands of dollars. Mr. Bell, you can speak to me. I'm looking for some thousandaires.
I think Mr. Bell is looking to the millionaires, Raw.
All right. Thank you very kindly. And we're gonna move the agenda. And I thank you back up the bat again, Ms. Candace Jones, to understand that the number one state rep in the state of Ohio is on the line.
Yes, she is.
And also the executive vice chairman of the largest Democratic county in the state of Ohio, called Cuyahoga County.
Right.
Bring
Yes.
on, Ms. Candace.
So we have Miss State Rep Juanita Brent, who is currently the state rep in District 12, and she's also a candidate for state rep in District 22 in 2022. Election day is August 2nd. For those of you that have not voted, please make sure you get out to vote. August 2nd, polls open at 6:30, close at 7:30. You have all day to get out there and vote. Please do so. And without further ado, Miss Juanita Brent, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Mr. Bibb and Candace, for always being so warm and welcoming. And just for everybody who is here underneath the sound of my voice, thank you for listening to today's podcast, because this is definitely not my first time, but it won't be my last time coming here today. The state of Ohio, you have to watch what's going on. There's a lot going on right now. There's going to be two things that's going to be on your ballot, not this primary, but in November. One is House Joint Resolution number 2. House Joint Resolution number 2 decides on the factors about setting bail. They're going to say it's going to be promoted as bail reform, but it's not the bail reform that the people asked for. It's problematic bail reform, which is going to be based off of security for people. It is rooted in racism. It's called House Joint Resolution number 2. Now, issues always come at the end of the ballot, so that would be at the end of the ballot. Is another one that's going to be on the ballot in November as House Joint Resolution number 4. That item will prevent anyone who is non-American from being able to vote in the election. And you're probably thinking, well, do they even get to vote now? Only in certain circumstances. They do not get to vote in partisan or dealing with candidates, but they do get to vote when it comes to allowing liquor laws within your own community, school boards, or tax levies, or school board levies within your community. Those are the 4 times that non-citizens are able to vote here in the state of Ohio. These problematic Republicans have put this on the ballot to basically discriminate against those who are not citizens here in Ohio. Very problematic. Very discriminatory, is rooted in racism. So we have to watch what's going on coming out of the State House. And what happened with this is that anytime a person like myself as a legislator, we can introduce a House Joint Resolution. If the speaker allows it to be voted out on the floor of the House and it receives majority votes, it automatically gets put on the ballot. So that is how it happened. The General Assembly members in the Ohio House voted on a bill that was a House Joint Resolution number 2 and number 4 that is now going to be on the ballot in November. The Ohio Legislative Black Caucus, which I'm the president of, will be doing tours and information about that so people can have a better understanding of these 2 problematic items that would be on the ballot.
Thank you very kindly. State Rep,
Yes, Mr. Bibb?
thank you for the update on that number 2 and 4. Are those the correct numbers?
That's the correct numbers, number 2 and 4.
Okay. Now, would you share with us what's happening with the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party moving forward?
Yes, so it's just been a little over a month since June 18th, since I was elected as the executive vice chair, and as well as our chairman, David Brock, who was elected as the new chair of the party. We are dealing with a lot of changes, and two of the things that we are focusing on is building up a huge field team, because we could not talk about engaging people within the party without having people who physical bodies to make sure we have people who can canvas and knock all over, and we've been working on that. Also, we're going to be making an emphasis on making sure we have Black judicial candidates. Black judicial candidates. Reason why that is important, not just for Black people, but what it says to our county is 70% of all the people that go to the courthouse are African American. When you go and see the judges, that is not what representation looks like. If we want to be the party of the people and represent the people in this county, which a large portion of them, 30% of them are African American, we have to be very intentional about who we are recruiting and encouraging to run as a county party. That is something that was talked about on the campaign trail, and that is something we are going to be implementing here within our county party. So we have a lot of great things that are coming up to try to engage people where they're at, and we just look forward to serving.
Very good. I'm glad to hear that you have the African Americans on your mind. You are aware of it, but most of our listening audience are not. We are just about lost all the African American male on the bench countywide. We might have one. That's it. And we got to do a better job, because we're almost 40% of the county now. So I'm glad you're there as the executive vice president of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party, and keep that initiative going, trying to get us in the mix and where we should be, right at the top, because we are the largest ethnic group in Cuyahoga County. I don't know if you knew that, Brother Bill, but we are. We're number one, but we want to be number one in all areas. Thank you. Was there anything else you want to share with us, State Rep?
Well, the county party is here to serve the people. We are open. We even have a satellite office that ODP is paying for over in Coventry, right next to Tommy's restaurant. So come out and be engaged. Everyone needs to come out and vote. They're predicting that it's going to be a very low turnout. Let's prove them wrong and show up on why it's so important. Everything that's happening on the national level, no matter if you're dealing with Roe v. Wade or if you're concerned about what's happening on with your schools, all of that gets decided at the State House. At the State House. That is not what Congress is handling. It's going to happen at the State House. So who you vote in for your state rep, your state senator, is very important. It's very important that people come out and vote.
Okay. You said someone is right next to Tommy's on Coventry?
Yes, it's
Would
right
you
next
repeat that again, please?
It's right next to Tommy's on Coventry.
I'm sorry, what's next to Tommy's?
The ODP office for this election cycle.
Okay. The ODP office, this election cycle.
Okay, very good. We'll be back there tomorrow to check that out. Thank you very kindly. And I'm glad you were able to take time off of the campaign trail to come in. And of course, we wish you well in all your endeavors.
Thank you, Mr.
Good to
Bibb.
see you on our podcast sometime soon. Thank you.
No problem. This is Juanita Brand. Thank you so much, Mr. Bibb and Candace, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
All right. We have some other guests. Just hold on. We're going to get to you. We're running late, but we're going to get everybody. But to tell me that we got the sheriff on town, some of you don't know who the sheriff is. The sheriff is Erc Porter, president of Black on Black Crime Incorporated. Are you there, Erc Porter? Mr. Erc Porter, are you there? All right.
Yes, I am. You hear me, sir?
Big Sheriff, I hear you loud and living color. Would you
Oh,
bring us up to date so Reverend Ben Fair can know what Black on Black gonna do? And with Judy Martin up in Buffalo, New York.
you hear what's going on because we have Sister Lauren Patterson. She brought some things out. We also have Sister Joyce Hood from the Knowledge Youth Organization. But since you asked and you said you want to know what is going on, I am going to let Judy Martin tell you right now, Brother Bibb, what is happening this coming Saturday.
Hi, Mr. Bibb. How are you doing?
Hello, nice to see you, Miss Judy.
Hey, you're looking great.
Thank you.
On Saturday, July 30th, we're taking a food caravan to Buffalo, New York, to take donations of food, canned goods, non-perishables, cleaning products, diapers, whatever we can get, up to the Greater Jefferson Avenue Business Association area around the Tops Friendly supermarket where all those people were killed or massacred and a few people wounded. And right now we had a driver and suddenly that driver came up with a situation that can't go. So I've got feelers out. We need a driver now for Saturdays. I know it's last minute, but if anybody in your audience wants to drive us, and it's a volunteer service. Major Tapp said yes, so we've got a driver. Thank God. So we're hoping to take food up to the neighborhood in that area. I know the supermarket has reopened, but there's probably still people in the area that might need help, especially being the end of the month. And so if you want to make donations, bring them to Black on Black Saturday morning, 15415 Kipling Avenue. We're going to try and leave by 9 o'clock, which probably means more like 9:30 or 9:45. And we'll get to Buffalo, hopefully by 12:30, 1 o'clock. Spend a couple hours distributing the food and whatever else we were able to bring, and be back home to Cleveland by 6 or 7. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very kindly, Sister Judy Martin. You're doing a good job as usual.
Well, it's
And
with Black on
President
Black
Al
Survivors
Porter and the
Knowledge.
whole team.
Yeah,
It-
it's with a lot of our
And we look forward
organizations,
to-
so.
We look forward to
sorry.
working with you on future projects, and good luck on this Saturday. All
Thank
right?
you.
Thank
You
you.
be safe.
Very good. Now I'm
Appreciate
told
you all.
Tammy
Thank
Kennedy.
you once again.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President. Miss Tammy Kennedy, are you with us? Miss Tammy Kennedy? All right. Miss Tammy Kennedy? How about Miss Sharon Pittman?
I'm here, Mr. Bibb. How are you? How's everybody?
It's Tammy.
Yes,
All right,
I'm here also,
thank you.
Mr. Bibb.
All right, would you bring us up to date on our event on the 28th and what happened? You have any information for us?
Yes, well, Vice President of East Cleveland City Council, Ernest L. Smith, he's known as the People's Councilman. It's his birthday, Sunday, August 28th. So they're having the East Cleveland end of the summer block party. It's the 14th annual OPN Back to School celebration, AKA OPN Day. And it's hosted by, like I said, the People's Councilman, Vice President Ernest Smith. It's from 12 to 6. It'll be taking place on Euclid Avenue from Lee Road to Chapman Street on Euclid Avenue. Over 300 free book bags with supplies will be given out and much more. There are going to be several DJs, vendors, resource tables from various businesses and resources. a game, truck, bounce house, and etc. So it's a lot going to be going on that Sunday, August 28th in East Cleveland.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Bibb.
Reverend Ben Fair,
Yes, sir.
make sure we get that information from Ms. Tammy Kennedy so we can plug right into that. And also Miss Judy Martin and Mr. Al Porter, I forgot, get your email to us right away so we can email some information to you to help you out on Saturday. I believe we got some things we can help you out with also. Thank you, Miss Kennedy, and we'll call you from the dinner.
All
So
right.
keep your phone open between 7:30 and 8.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Now we're getting ready to go into the commercial hour now. Is Miss Joanne Holly in the house?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr. I'm here.
That's right. I know an all pro when I see one, them Ben Fair.
Yes, sir.
Now, Miss Joanne Holly, bring it on down front to us. Tell us exactly what's going on
All
on your
right.
last regular week, because next week you're going with your big series.
Yes.
The floor is all yours, Miss Joanne Holly.
Okay, thank you again, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have some exciting news I want to share. This is short and sweet. Coming soon, Wednesday, August the 3rd, we will have a preview of Michael J. Calhoun's former member of the Daz Band. I will be interviewing him for the next 2 weeks. He'll be sharing with you how he got started, how inspirational his mom was in supporting his success. He is multi-talented, exceptional musician, writer, producer, and recording artist. He uses his talents and abilities also to help others. Michael Calhoun's awards luncheon will be at the LaSalle Theater, 823 East 185th Street in Cleveland, Ohio, 44119. 823 East 185th Street. On Thursday, August 11th, get your tickets now. It's a senior luncheon from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. featuring Blue Daz. For tickets, contact Rob Johnson, 216-778-0401. That's Rob Johnson, 216-778-0401. So this is Joanne Hollywood signing off, R&B, gospel recording artist, health and wealth expert, cryptocurrency queen. We'll see you there. Back to you, Mr. Bibb.
Hold it, don't leave yet, Miss Joanne.
I'm
I think
still
that
here.
Johnson fella got another name. What's his other name? James Jerome Bell, you know his name.
Line dance.
Tell that old man sitting next to you what his name is. Go ahead, Miss Candace.
Line dance king.
That's the Lion Dance King, James Jerome Bell. I know you're a little old.
Okay.
Lion Dance King. He's the one teaching us all these line dances we do. That sounds pretty good, don't it, Real? Okay. Thank you, Miss Joanne.
Thank you.
And while Miss Candace has the floor, she has some other things she wants us to bring up to date on. An event we'll all be at tomorrow night, Reverend. Go right ahead, Miss Candace.
Thank you, Mr. Bibb. So there will be a meet and greet for Ohio Secretary of State candidate Chelsea Clark. That will take place Thursday, July 28th, 2022. That's tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. The location is Midtown Tech Hive. The address is 6815 Euclid Avenue, 44103. Again, that's a meet and greet for Ohio Secretary of State Chelsea Clark tomorrow, July 28th, 7:30 p.m. The address is 6815 Euclid Avenue, Midtown Tech Hive. Another event coming up is to celebrate the 57th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act on August 6th by standing up for democracy with us. There will be a bus from Cleveland leaving from Greater Abyssina Church on Saturday, August the 6th. The bus will be leaving at 7:30 p.m., going down to the State House. So on Saturday, August 6th, at the State House from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., there will be a Freedom to Vote rally. Also, that same day, join us for brunch and a voter engagement training from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Sheraton Capitol Square, 75 East State Street in Columbus. Again, if you have questions or you would like to get on the bus leaving from Cleveland, contact Pam Mason at 216-268-9658. Again, that will be Saturday, August 6th, going down to Columbus for the Freedom to Vote rally. One more event that I want to bring up is the Yucca Democratic Club is having their annual brunch, which will take place on Sunday, August 28th. The doors will open at 10:30 a.m. and the brunch will start at 11 a.m. 10:30 a.m. will be for registration, and you can view the silent auction raffle baskets. And I'm on the committee that's putting this together, and I got a chance to hear some of the raffle baskets that will be raffled off at that event. Some really good
Sounds
ones.
exciting.
There's a Cleveland basket. There's a car basket. I'm not saying you get a car, but a car basket. There's a Diva's Delight basket. So there's a list of baskets that will be raffled off, and you can view those when the doors open at 10:30. The event will take place at Tizano's Party Center, 1361 East 260th Street. The tickets are $45 each, and it's a fundraiser for the Yucca Democratic PAC. And what we do with the funds that we collect at this brunch, annual brunch, is we have a campaign office in Euclid on the even election years. And the campaign office is not just for Euclid residents, it's for anyone, any surrounding areas to help promote Democratic candidates that are going to be on the ballot or issues that are going to be on the ballot. We have a campaign office that we're targeting opening on August the 15th. So it will be open by the time I brunch, so we'll be able to give you more information on the hours that it will be open. We are working with the ODP resources to help staff that by ODP as well. So we will be looking for volunteers to help with that office once we do have all the details. But again, the brunch will be Sunday, August 28th, starting at 10:30 a.m. Brunch will start at 11 and it will go from 2. And just to give you a hint, I'm just going to give you a hint on some of the guest speakers that we have that have confirmed. We have featuring U.S. Senate candidate Tim Ryan, Lieutenant Governor candidate Cheryl Stevens, candidate for Cuyahoga County Executive Chris Ronayne, candidate for Secretary of State Chelsea Clark. So that's just a hint of some of the candidate speakers that have been confirmed, but more awesome Democrat candidates and speakers to be on the list.
Very good report.
Yes.
And you can remember Ms. Clark was our special guest on the podcast, and so we'll get a chance to see her a couple of times this month. That's her affair we're all going to tomorrow night at on Euclid Avenue. Very good. And Mr. James Jerome Bell,
Yes,
let
sir.
me hear that commercial about your new job.
Well, let me just close out and first say thank you so much to Mr. Bibb and People Get Ready. It's a glorious day in Cleveland, Ohio. My name is James Jerome Bell, home furnishing consultant with Value City Furniture at Harvard Park in Beechwood, Ohio. Whether you are furnishing a complete home, bedroom, living room, man cave, etc., I want to be your home advisor, someone you can count on to give you a well-furnished home and add to your beautiful life. I can be reached at 216-543-1118. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. James Jerome Bell. I didn't hear all of that. Did you mention that you got home office furniture? You got that also?
Yes, we do.
All right. Because I'm getting ready to expand my home-based office.
Okay.
And I'll be looking for you for my little discount too.
Okay.
Thank you.